Close your eyes and envision a profound, apocalyptic nightmare that utterly defies human comprehension. Our sky, once a familiar canvas of gentle blue, entirely swallowed by the swirling, suffocating, monstrous storms of Jupiter. Imagine the deafening, agonizing groan of the Earth's tectonic plates as our entire world is mercilessly dragged toward an unfathomable gravitational abyss, completely helpless against a power that could crush our reality into dust. Funny Science warmly welcomes you to a journey into the darkest, most unforgiving truths of our universe. If this terrifying glimpse into the sheer, unrestrained violence of the cosmos leaves you breathless and wanting more, please take a moment to subscribe and support our channel, fueling our motivation to continuously bring you these deeply captivating stories. We gaze up at the night sky and foolishly find peace in the twinkling stars, desperately convincing ourselves that we reside in a silent, tranquil sanctuary. But as someone who has spent countless nights staring deeply into that vast emptiness, I can tell you with an aching heart that this comforting illusion is humanity's most dangerous collective lie. The truth is profoundly chilling. We are never truly safe. Our fragile pale blue home is nothing more than a microscopic speck adrift in a sprawling, chaotic cosmic minefield. Every single second, we are blindly navigating through unimaginable, macro-level perils that silently lurk within the freezing dark void. Space is not a serene, poetic ocean. It is a merciless, predatory arena, entirely indifferent to our hopes, our dreams, and our fragile miracle of existence. To truly understand this predatory arena, we must first dare to look at the invisible beasts that roam its pitch-black corridors. Think about the concept of rogue black holes, collapsed stars wandering aimlessly through the galaxy, stripped of any glowing accretion disk that might warn us of their approach. When I imagine these silent devourers, a cold dread settles in my stomach. They are cosmic phantoms, billions of times heavier than anything we can comprehend, drifting through the Milky Way like sharks in an abyssal trench. If one were to enter our solar system, we wouldn't see it coming in a blaze of fire. Instead, we would witness a slow, maddening distortion of the sky. The familiar constellations I trace with my finger on a quiet summer night would warp and smear like wet paint. The planets, our celestial siblings, would be flung out of their ancient orbits into the freezing unknown. I often sit in the quiet hours of the dawn, contemplating how easily our entire history, every war, every love song, every tear ever shed, could be quietly swallowed into a singularity, leaving absolutely no trace that we ever existed. It isn't a malicious act. It is the ultimate expression of cosmic apathy. We are forced to accept that our sanctuary is constantly exposed to these wandering titans, untethered from any orbit, bound by no laws but gravity, capable of erasing the Earth with the casual indifference of a boot stepping on an ant. Yet, while the creeping dark harbors these silent phantoms, the most breathtaking light in the universe holds an equally devastating promise of annihilation. Whenever I gaze through a telescope at the shimmering remnants of a dying star, I am struck by a tragic irony. The very events that seed the cosmos with the building blocks of life are the exact same mechanisms that can extinguish it in a heartbeat. Consider the sheer, unadulterated wrath of a nearby supernova or a gamma-ray burst. These are not distant, abstract concepts found only in dusty textbooks. They are loaded cosmic sniper rifles pointed blindly into the dark. A gamma-ray burst from a collapsing star thousands of light years away could strike the Earth with absolutely no warning. Traveling at the speed of light, this invisible spear of radiation would strip away our ozone layer in a fraction of a second, bathing our vibrant biosphere in lethal ultraviolet fire. The sky would burn, the oceans would wither, and the intricate web of life that took billions of years to weave would unravel before we even realized we were under attack. It is profoundly unsettling to realize that our continued survival relies entirely on sheer geographical luck. We are essentially living in the crossfire of a stellar battlefield, marveling at the gorgeous, colorful nebulas that are, in reality, the lingering smoke of celestial bombs. To love the stars is to love the very forces that could obliterate us without a moment's hesitation. But far more terrifying than the sudden, violent erasure by a dying star is the agonizingly slow, silent isolation that the universe has planned for us. Sometimes, the sheer scale of the cosmos presses down on my chest until it becomes hard to breathe. We are living in a universe that is not just expanding, but tearing itself apart at an accelerating rate due to the enigmatic force of dark energy. I look at the galaxies scattered across the deep field images captured by our telescopes, and a deep, inescapable sorrow washes over me. Those distant islands of light are fleeing from us. Trillions of stars, countless potential worlds, and perhaps even other lonely souls staring back at the dark are being carried away across the event horizon of the cosmos. Eventually, the night sky will be scrubbed clean. Future generations of whatever beings remain on this rock will look up and see nothing but an endless, suffocating blackness. They will have no way to know that a vast, beautiful universe ever existed outside their lonely borders. This is the great filter of cosmic isolation. The thought that our tiny island of consciousness is destined to be marooned in a perpetually darkening, freezing void is a psychological burden that feels almost too heavy to bear. We are screaming into an abyss that is growing wider every second, and the echoes of our existence are destined to be swallowed by the ever-expanding silence. Confronted by this suffocating, expanding silence and the myriad of horrors lurking in the dark, one must inevitably question the meaning of our agonizingly brief moment in the sun. If the universe is a chaotic, indifferent slaughterhouse destined for eternal cold, why do we bother to love, to build, to strive, to understand? I have spent years wrestling with this existential vertigo, staring into the abyss until my eyes burned. But within that terrifying revelation lies a deeply bittersweet, defiant beauty. The very fragility of our existence is what infuses it with profound, almost unbearable value. We are the cosmos made manifest, the universe experiencing itself for a fleeting, microscopic fraction of eternity. Yes, we are incredibly vulnerable, clinging to a wet speck of dust in a hostile vacuum, but we are also miraculously aware. Every time you hold the hand of someone you love, every time you pause to admire the golden hues of a sunset, you are staging a quiet rebellion against the dark. We take the cold, dead atoms of exploded stars and turn them into music, poetry, and compassion. The cosmic horrors are real, and our end is ultimately guaranteed. But the meaning of our existence is not dictated by its duration. It is defined by our courage to stare into the terrifying, merciless reality of the universe and choose to find warmth in each other anyway. We may be insignificant in the grand, terrifying architecture of space, but in the brief, beautiful spark of our consciousness, we outshine the very stars that threaten to destroy us. In synthesizing these cosmic realities, we are forced to confront a profound paradox. The universe is a theater of unspeakable hostility, yet it is also the cradle of our improbable existence. From the silent, wandering rogue black holes that could swallow our world without warning, to the violent celestial bombardments capable of instantly vaporizing our atmosphere, and finally, to the inescapable, freezing expansion of dark energy that promises ultimate isolation, the cosmos remains entirely apathetic to our survival. However, this existential dread is not the end of our story. Rather, it is the vital backdrop that gives our lives meaning. Recognizing our precarious position within this grand, terrifying architecture does not diminish our significance, but amplifies the miracle of our consciousness. We are stardust that has somehow learned to think, to feel, and to comprehend the very void that threatens to consume us. The true summary of our cosmic situation is not one of despair, but of defiant appreciation. By acknowledging that our time is painfully limited and our planet is a fragile sanctuary suspended in a lethal expanse, every triumph, every human connection, and every quiet moment of joy becomes infinitely precious. We exist on a cosmic tightrope, balanced perfectly between chaotic destruction and eternal silence, yet we choose to walk it with grace, turning the indifferent mechanics of the universe into art, love, and undeniable meaning. The ultimate lesson the cosmos teaches us is that true value is born from fragility. The indifferent and terrifying nature of the universe is precisely what makes our fleeting existence so extraordinarily precious. Our meaning is not derived from permanence or cosmic dominance, but from the deliberate, conscious choice to love, create, and connect in the face of inevitable entropy. In your everyday life, apply this cosmic perspective to filter out trivial anxieties. When you find yourself overwhelmed by mundane stressors, petty arguments, or the pursuit of superficial success, pause and remember the vast, silent void that surrounds our fragile blue world. Use this macro perspective as a grounding tool to immediately reorient your priorities. Focus your energy on what genuinely matters, nurturing deep relationships, expressing gratitude for the simple, unlikely miracle of waking up each day, and finding purpose in bringing warmth to others. Let the terrifying scale of the universe be your ultimate antidote to daily worries, empowering you to live fiercely, passionately, and kindly in the present moment. If you keep in mind just how rare and fragile our existence is in this vast universe, what is one small positive thing you will change about your daily routine starting tomorrow? Please kindly share your thoughts and perspectives in the comments section below so we can all learn from and inspire one another. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the mysteries of the universe, please consider subscribing to the channel. Your support is our greatest motivation to keep creating and bringing more fascinating content to you.